Hey, Bulldog fans! Welcome to Inside the Huddle, the podcast that brings you the heart and soul of Rolla Bulldogs high school sports.
Welcome to Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Romo Athletics and powered by our title sponsor, Phelps County Bank. This is season 3. It is episode 89, and it is a Home Sweet Mo Properties Spotlight edition. And we are joined today by Shaun Wibbenmeyer. He is the owner, he is the head trainer of Full Range Fit. And we're going to talk to you today about the combine that's happening here at Rolla High School. So, Shaun, man, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, appreciate you having me.
I mean, I tell you, I was excited when I first saw the social media kind of hits out there about the combine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got all ecstatic. I'm like, oh my God, this is such a great thing for Rolla.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people actually know what a combine is. So why don't you just talk a little bit about what a combine is and how it's going to work?
Yeah, you bet. So the Mid-Missouri Regional Combine, what we're looking to accomplish is a professional style athlete testing where we have kids from 8 to 18 come out. And the goal is to run them through a series of athletic tests. And what we'll do is we're testing for speed, we're testing for explosiveness, we're testing for agility, and then reactive ability, right? Because sport is not just linear, right? We want to be able to see how these kids move. Also, the whole goal is to not only get the data, but show these kids what it's like, right? So most kids grow up in an area that maybe don't have this opportunity to do it. So I'm from different cities that I've lived around, and kids in cities have that opportunity. But when we moved here, I realized real quick in the youth sports, they get to compete, they get to have fun, but there's really no training and analytics behind it. So our goal is to be able to bring that to Rolla, to where kids not only know where they're starting at, but give them a foundation so that we can help them get better. Maybe they want to be a D1 athlete, maybe they don't. Maybe they just want to be good for their team, right? Our goal was to figure out what their areas of improvement are, what their strengths are, and then help them develop as a full athlete.
Yeah, that's a great thing. It's something that's needed. Again, because you have the serious athletes that have ambitions, they have goals, they have plans, they want to get there. Sometimes it's a little bit easier for them, but they may not. They may just know what their starting point is.
That's right.
And what they think the future is, but they really don't have a pathway to get there. And that was one of the things I know you talked about is they're going to walk away kind of with an action plan when they're done.
That's correct. That's what we want, right? So we're going to test them in the 10-yard split, the 40-yard dash. So the 40-yard dash is more of like your top end speed. And then the 10-yard split sometimes is more important, right? So when we're testing that 40, we're going to have like a 10-yard and then a 40-yard. So that 10-yard is that acceleration. Like how fast are they from that 10 yards? And it doesn't matter if you're a football player, a baseball player, a basketball player. All of these testing assessments are going to help no matter what sport you're in. I mean, this one's a little bit geared towards football, but we can do different ones throughout the year. So we're going to test their vertical jump to like see what their explosiveness is. We're going to test their broad jump to see what that lateral explosion looks like. We'll do the 5-10-5 shuttle. So that's all timed. And everything that we're going to do is laser guided. You know, the old days before some of this new stuff came out, it was us out there with stopwatches, and maybe I blinked and I missed a little bit, right? So it's 100% accurate. So we're looking for professional style testing. We'll do reactive agility testing. And then we'll have some position competitions for the kids to get out there and kind of have some fun, whether they're quarterback, whether a wide receiver. We'll have different things for those kids to kind of compete. And then our goal is to assess it. And then I've got a standardized app that we've been building, I've been working on. And what it is we can plug all their numbers in. And not only will it tell you how you kind of compare with your age group, say you're 8 years old, you're not going to be a D1 athlete for a while, right? But how do you compare against other 8-year-olds in not just the area, but around the United States, right? So it kind of helps us understand what that blueprint needs to look like in order for you to be, good, elite, and, you don't want to be kind of left behind. So then there's an action plan put in place. So after we analyze all this data, the athlete will get a athlete readiness scorecard. And in that scorecard, it will tell you what your weaknesses are. It will tell you what your strengths are. And then from there, then we will give you an action plan on how to improve, maybe your areas of improvement, but then also how to reinforce some of those strengths that you have to maybe get you better even at those as well.
I love it. That's a great thing because a lot of kids want it, but they may not be willing to put in the time to get there.
Or know how to. Exactly. Most kids don't know what to do, right? So if you don't grow up in an arena like this and you don't have the tools to your disposal. And that's kind of what we created here, to be able to take that kid, even if they don't want to be an elite athlete, they still want to be good on their team, right? They still want to be able to perform well for their particular team. So to be able to have the analytical data, and again, they're not competing necessarily with other kids. They are with other kids, but they're competing with themselves. And we give them that starting point, and then we teach them over time, over years, over days, to teach them how to be better at what they love to do. Yeah.
We talked about beforehand about kind of the impact here in the high school. So Easton Smith is one that he decided he wanted to be a defensive end when he wanted to play college ball. So he bulked up. Right?
Right.
He bulked up a lot.
Me too.
And but what never happened, even though he added from 70 pounds through high school, his 10-yard split times didn't change, which was the thing. Now, him running up and down the basketball court, whole nother ball game, right?
Yeah, right.
But the 10-yard split, what he was measured on, what they were looking for him as for that explosiveness of it, as a defensive end, did not change. So his size was a size, but that burst was still that burst. So that was,
he didn't get slower.
So that really kind of helped him out on that process.
Yep.
So the combine is coming up next Saturday, the 25th.
Correct. July 25th. We're doing, we have 3 different age groups right now, and then the times could change depending on enrollment. But right now we have the 8 to 11-year-olds coming out in the morning. And again, that 8 to 11-year-old is definitely, we're testing, but it's more instructional, right? So many kids have never even done these events. So not only do we want them to be good at it, but we have to teach them, right? So there's like a whole teaching element to the 8 to 11. And kind of the same thing with that 12 to 14-year-old. They'll come out from 11 to 1:30, and then the 15 to 18-year-olds will come out after that. And then we'll spend 2.5 hours with the athlete, not teaching them how to do it. We're going to watch them, and then we're going to kind of give them instruction before they go kind of get their time, right? So then we'll test them, and then they're going to get 2 to 3 tries at everything. We'll track everything. Everything goes into that athlete readiness scorecard, and then once we compile all the data, then that gets sent to the athlete so that they have that.
Yeah, I think I love how this is working out for them, having that blueprint, that foundation piece they can build on, educating them up front. And like you said, it's all the sports. I mean, the only difference between the workouts that you have designed in the combine and like what you would see for a basketball is the fact that would typically be on a hardwood court.
Yeah. Right.
But the same shuttle drills are all things that still fit into that same. So that works out well. So for any of you that are thinking this is strictly a football, this is really about being an athlete.
That's right.
How to improve being an
athlete. And we could do sports-specific stuff at a later date. Just this one is kind of geared towards a football player, but just wanted to reiterate, you don't have to be a football player to come out. If the position stuff doesn't really align with things that you want to do and you still want to get the testing, these metrics are going to translate whether you play football, baseball, soccer, softball, track. I mean, all of it, you have to be fast and you have to be agile to be great. So that's what we want to help create.
So let's look at where can they register? Because there's still time to register, right?
There is. There's still. We'll take registrations all the way up until the night before. I mean, if somebody wanted to show up, we'll still have that ability for somebody to register on site. But they can go to fullrangefitmo.com, and then up in the top we have the toolbars up there, and it will say football, Mid-Missouri football combine registration. Okay. They can go click that link, easy sign up, and then they can pay for it there.
All right, that'll be great. So make sure you do that. Just that way it'll kind of help out with how you're working through it, all the staff. And I assume your team will all be there.
Yeah, that's correct. So we'll have Abel De La Garza, Jackson Mitchell, Chase Bartle, and myself will be the main coaches that will be running everything. And then we'll have assistants and stuff helping out. But these guys, Jackson played, he played Division I football. Abel, his son, Mason, went off and played D1 football. And Chase was a football player here in Rolla. He was All-American. So we have a lot of knowledge when it comes to the football skill set that we will be able to provide good coaching and good quality instruction for our youth.
It's going to be, I'm excited for it. So you talked a little bit about this, but let's go a little bit more into, okay, so why here? Why Rolla? Why bring this in now? And why is Full Range Fit the right people to do this?
Yeah. So we moved here about 5 years ago, and I've lived in San Francisco, Seattle, St. Louis, went to University of Southeast Missouri State, and just there's a lot of those bigger cities have more opportunity, right? So we moved here, and I started coaching my son and being a part of the youth program. Tons of great athletes around here, but not necessarily the same opportunity that some of the bigger cities have, right? So I wanted to be able to bring that to the community that has done so much for me, especially after the tornado. The community rallied behind us and kind of kept us going and got us built back up again. So to be able to provide that kind of instruction and that service for our youth, as you and I know, they've kind of gone away from testing our youth and didn't want certain things to happen, didn't want to make kids feel bad. So we want to bring a feel good to the testing, right? It's not about making a kid feel bad because they weren't fast enough. We wanted to be able to provide instruction and help those kids get the opportunities that the kids in the city don't have. So then in turn, hopefully we create a better Rolla experience, maybe win some championships and stuff for it, kind of get that going. I love watching kids that don't have the knowledge but have the drive, right? So the kids that really want to do it, we'd love to bring them in and teach them all the professional tools. And if you can start that at an age of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, by the time they're 15 and 18, then now they have more opportunity, right? So we just want to really help create that opportunity for our youth around here.
And we're looking at this because a lot of times you'll have people out there go like, oh, this is too early to start them, and oh, you're just trying to drive them, you're going to burn them out. That's not what this is about, right? This is about teaching them habits.
That's right.
That'll carry over. And you pointed out that it's not about the competition with somebody else. It's about the competition that you have with yourself to be better today than you were yesterday.
That's right.
And that's one of the things I really admire about some of the single sports that are out there, like wrestling, that's an individual but still a team, or track, an individual team, cross country, or golf, individual but still a team, because that's why you do those things. Is I want to be better, and that is such a great lesson. That is somewhat missing a little bit today from our society, with how people are taking a hold of things and grabbing things by the rein, and this is kind of laying that foundation at an early age.
Yeah, we don't want to drive kids too hard, right? The whole goal is to make it fun. And so we kind of follow the long-term athletic development model to where everything is age appropriate, right? So you don't want to have an 8-year-old powerlifting, right? That's not really going to be optimal for their development, right? So we take each age group and we train them differently, right? So as the child matures, they could do more, but everything is specific based off that age group. And the biggest thing is we want to keep it fun, right? If kids aren't having fun doing what they're doing, the odds are they're going to want to quit, right? So we work them hard, but we make it fun to where they enjoy the process of working hard, the process of getting better, the process of knowing where you're at today. And then as you get older, we'll have the metrics to show you that all the hard work that you're doing is actually paying off.
That is excellent, man. Get that full closure on that loop. That's great. Let's jump and take a look at our sponsors right now. First of all, Phelps County Bank, title sponsor. Appreciate everything they've done, not just for Inside the Huddle, but also for the Rolla sports community and the community and as a whole. Home Sweet Mill Properties, they are our Spotlight Edition sponsor. They do things such as this and some of the senior sightings and activities like that. We also like Taylor Chrysler out there. Jeremy Shelton, man, he helps out on the coach talks. When we're talking to the high school coaches, that is their sponsorship makes that happen. Kobe Wands over at Wands Skills Academy now has the Wands Sports Complex. Going to be a 2 basketball gym facility. Going to do a lot of training over there on basketball, and does a great job. 2-time All-State Bulldog, has been working with Ethan forever, so appreciate Kobe Wands on that. We got RJ Pest Control, 35 years in the business, family-based business. They do just an incredible job. And finally, Jackie Morozowitz at In Full Bloom. She does backdrop rentals. She does balloon decor. Done stuff for our home family and events we've had, and you see her out all the time. So again, thank you for the sponsors on that. So the tagline for Full Range Fit: train, compete, elevate.
That's right.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, it kind of fits with everything we've been talking about. So you put it together. And how long have you been in business here in Rolla?
In Rolla, we opened up in, 2021? Was when we opened. I kind of waited for the pandemic to calm down and to get all the restrictions lifted, and then started up in 2021. Started out with just myself, and kind of needed to see if it was a viable business option that people even wanted the kind of service, right? So we started in 2021, and then it just kind of kept growing. People kept supporting us, and so we've kept it growing. And then we had the addition that we were going to do before the tornado, and that's when we were going to launch more of the youth athlete side, because I saw the need for our youth, and I've always had a passion for helping our kids get better. Started 2021, and here we are, 2026, and doing great things, and looking to keep working with everybody.
I love it. It's going to be a great time. So before we wrap up, I do have a question. I always like to finish up with a question. So let's say we got the combine next Saturday, the 25th. We're done by 4:30. Everyone's kind of checked out. You give them stuff. Now you're just hanging out, you and the coaches, and it's time to go through the combine.
That's right.
Okay? Yeah. So you guys are going to go through the combine.
That's right.
So let's go. Who is going to come in on those skill sets out of the 4 coaches? Who's coming in at number 1
If the
Can you
coaches
rank
were going to do
if
it?
the coaches are doing it. We're talking about this on the coaches now.
Okay.
So
all right.
how are you guys stacking up? on
I'm the old
coaches
guy.
in
I'm probably
combine?
going to finish last. I've had 3 ACL reconstructions and got torn ligament in my wrist. I'm gonna put myself as last, right? We don't. I'm past that point in my life. But I'd probably say number 1 is that fella right back there, Abel De La Garza. He's not that much younger than me, but he is a physical person. He can run, he can jump. So on agility and all that stuff, I'd probably say him. And then it's going to be a toss-up between the 2 big guys, right? We got Jackson Mitchell and we got Chase Bartle. Chase Bartle's more of a bodybuilder, just a massive lineman type fella, and Jackson was a linebacker type guy, right? So those are going to be probably 2A and 2B, and then I'll round out that 4th spot.
I feel that because, I started cramping as I was just asking that question.
right.
I thought I pulled a hamstring.
Yeah, my knees hurt thinking about jumping and stuff like that. I passed my prime on that, so I can still have the knowledge to give the skill set back to others, and we'll leave it at that.
I celebrated the other day and threw my hands up in the air and felt like my rotator cuff kind of went. So I don't know if there was some injury in the past that
We got the
happened.
crossover symmetry bands back there. We'll get you in there on those. We'll rehab those shoulders for you.
I need to do it for sure. Well, Shaun, hey, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate you letting us come in and kind of have this conversation and kind of promote the combine coming up. It's a big event, not just for the Rolla kids, but for the area kids that want to come out and do that. We want to thank Home Sweet Mo Properties, again, being that Spotlight Edition sponsor. And as always, Phelps County Bank being the title sponsor of Inside the Huddle this year. And whatever platform you're watching this on, be sure you like it or share it. We want to make sure that we get this out there and get us promoted as good as we can. So Shaun, appreciate it. Thanks for having us. Great job. Keep it up. Looking forward to checking that out next Saturday. Going to be there. Probably get little clips on that. So kind of enjoy
Come on
that.
out. It's going to be fun. Hopefully it doesn't rain us out again.
I know. Hopefully it won't. We're going to be crossing our fingers on that one.
You bet.
Okay, for Shaun Wibbenmeyer, I'm Tom Brown from Inside the Huddle to the Heart of the Game. We'll see you next time.